the wiggle gurgler. Start your thread about an eye's length behind the eye. Create a nice thread base and cut the tag end of the thread off. Then, secure a pair of large bead chain eyes to the top and carefully swivel them down to the bottom of the hook shank. It helps to invert your vise and start making figure 8 wraps around the bead chain eyes to secure them. Once they are stable, take some wraps above the hook shank but under the bead chain eyes to further tighten the previous wraps. Add some glue to the eyes to make sure they don't swivel around or you knock them with your hand or thread in the future of the tying process. Then, cut about a 3-inch piece of foam off of the rectangle, measure it about hook gap in width, cut it into a point and set that off to the side. Then grab a fluffy marabou fiber. Measure it about a hook shank and a half in length. Then with that measurement, tie that on the bend of the hook. Go ahead and cut the excess right behind the bead chain eye. This will help create an even body. Then, grab a magnum rabbit strip about 2.5 times the hook shank in length and tie that with the fur facing down over the marabou. And then cut the measurement. After that, grab another marabou plume and measure it again about 1.5 times the hook shank. It should come about just barely past the halfway point in the rabbit strip. Again, tie it in the same manner to create an even body. I also like to apply some glue here to make sure that the rabbit strip doesn't kind of swivel around, because sometimes with this much material on the hook it likes to just swivel itself around the hook. Now, grab the piece of foam and tie it in by the tip and bring it back to the bend. Take compressing wraps down, creating a nice even base. You really want to compress that foam in the body. Then bring your thread about into the middle. I forgot some flash, I gotta go get it. Now, create a nice, ample, long dubbing noodle on your thread. And start it at the back portion of the fly and wrap up to behind the eyes. Try to substitute with the declining material at the back of the bead heads with more dubbing to create a nice even body. Then grab 2 or 3 strands of red crystal flash, fold them in half, fold them in half again, and then fold them in half over your thread. And then bring them under the hook right behind the bead chain eyes. They like to splay apart, so just push them back and take wraps of thread over them, and they should lay back towards the hook point. And then cut that measurement right where the tips of the crystal flash reach the hook point, creating a nice little throat spot or target. Then put another thinner dubbing loop on your thread and start making figure 8 wraps over the dumbbell eyes to cover up any existing open thread. It may require a little bit more dubbing to make an even head with the body. Then go ahead and whip finish your thread and cut it off. Then bring the foam over, find the measurement where the foam is over the eye, poke a hole in the middle of the foam, and push it over the hook eye. Then coat the back of the fly with super glue and fold over the foam again. And push the little hole through the loop. Then take wraps of thread in front of the foam but behind the hook eye, creating a nice thread dam pushing the foam back. Do a couple whip finishes, to really build up that dam and secure it. And then go ahead and cut the thread off. And then once you've done that, cut the lip of foam about halfway down the hook gap. And then cover the back of the foam with Sally Hansen's and the thread wraps to give it a nice shine, and it may float a little higher and it'll add a little bit more durability. And that's the fly.